good Thursday, everybody. Glad you're with us. Longshore and McKnight here on the program presented by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. As you can see, when Barry's sporting the baseball cap and the glasses, that normally means he is on a assignment with Troy Athletics, Troy football tonight, I believe, at ODU. Are you in a Holiday Inn Express by chance?
No, I am not. I'm in a what am I in? I'm in a Marriott Bonvoy.
Wow, how about that? Nice.
Downtown Norfolk, Virginia is my current location, where tonight the Troy Trojans take on the Monarchs of Old Dominion in intercollegiate football on ESPN on the big mothership tonight at 6:30. You can tell, there's an ESPN presence around. They had a lot of their people in the hotel last night talking to players, talking to coaches and all that kind of stuff. It's an exciting time. The weather's going to be good. I'm wearing the hoodie I guess just because it's not bad out here. Weather should be good. Sometimes John will, he'll look at a game, and he looks at a lot of games. He'll look at a game and he'll say, let's see here. Hard Rock has them at -12 or something like that.
That's right.
And then he'll say, I wonder what the weather is like. He says, I got to find that out. I'm thinking, so what? Bring an umbrella. He says, no, that's not why I'm asking.
No. I'm glad to know I've gotten a weather report. And from what you're telling us, it's going to be nice throughout the day into the evening tonight.
Yes. And, John says, well, that's important. Really? Why? You're not there. I'm just saying, it's good to know what the weather's like. So it should be nice.
I totally agree. Not only for dressing purposes, you can't take an umbrella to the game. I guess you can take a poncho if it is raining. But, in terms of hot and cold, you want to be comfortable. And what I'm sensing, Barry, from Bama fan, they're not comfortable. I mean, look at JJ today, early at 6:58. He's got Bama covering the game because right now Bama's a 6.5-point favorite. But he says he's worried.
Still nervous.
He is still worried nervous. Picking that up. When Bama's playing Purdue tonight on the Deuce, big crowd.
Number 2 Purdue.
Yeah.
Number 2 Purdue at Coleman Coliseum, men's basketball. I think Alabama. What's Alabama? They're top 25.
I believe. Heck, in the last poll, I believe so it's a big matchup. I'm hearing more buzz, Barry, about that game tonight and have the last day or two than I am about Saturday afternoon's homecoming game. Don't forget, it's homecoming.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little late in the year for homecoming, isn't it? Why Oklahoma? I mean, if you're going to do it this week, just wait till next week. Do it against Eastern Illinois, but they didn't ask me.
They never asked.
I don't know, Barry. Hopefully the winds will change between now and 2:30 Saturday afternoon.
I don't know the the mindset. I think right now, healthy mindset from Alabama people, concern, I don't know, worry. There's some Alabama people that'll worry because they're worrisome people. But concern, I think, is healthy. I think concern is merited. We all saw the results last year when I'm not even sure Alabama, the team, knew that the game was scheduled. Yeah. They wake up that morning and said, "Oh,
sure, they
got
a game playing.
Who do we play? What's And it is capable. It is a capability for Oklahoma in that one to win the game. We'll see.
I heard yesterday, Barry, and I'm not so. I thought this was interesting. This game, I don't know if more important is the right word, but I guess in terms of have to win, I guess Oklahoma's got to win to stay in the college football playoff conversation. Alabama, I don't know. I guess they can lose and still get in. I guess, 10-2. I guess they could still get in. But at Oklahoma, it is paramount that they win the game if they're going to advance into the playoff.
Oklahoma is 7-2. A bit of a bounce back year for Brent Venables and that program. You hear from some Alabama fans with a bit of what I would consider to be false bravado. Oh, they can't run the football. and their offensive line is terrible.
Well, yeah.
Well, they're 7-2. They are 7-2, and most of the reasons why they're 7-2 are defensive. But 7-2 is 7-2, and they've had a couple of big wins. But if Alabama loses that game, season's not over. I think they're still in. But if Oklahoma loses that game, I think you can kiss any chance that they've got of getting into the college football playoff goodbye. There's a lot of things to like about Oklahoma in this one. There's several things to love about Alabama. Most of it has to do with their quarterback and one of their wide receivers.
Yeah.
And the fact that it is at home. Yeah.
Texas and Ole Miss beat Oklahoma this year. Is that right? Looking at the schedule.
Texas definitely did. Oklahoma.
Yeah. I think Oklahoma beat them in Norman. Sure did. Beat them in Norman. Yeah.
Yes.
So those are their two losses. It's not like somebody snuck up on them and beat them. Kind of like the game last year when Oklahoma dominated Alabama in the game in Norman. And maybe that film was played all week up in Tuscaloosa inside the Malmore building. I'm sure they reminded the team of what happened last year, and here they are on the verge of maybe something special happening. But I see some worry. Just got a text on the VIP text line. Got a big group heading up to Tuscaloosa tonight. I'm loving Barry the fan interest. I mean, remember the days when I'd say, Barry, I don't know if there's 100 people in Montgomery that go to like 5 or more basketball games in a year. And here we got a big group going up tonight for a game in November. What the heck's going on?
Like I said at the time, and continues to boggle my mind at the time, of course there are, John. They got a 15,000 seat arena. And back in the day when, I used to call games on television on a regional cable network, I go to Tuscaloosa quite a bit. These are back in the Irwin Dudley, Rod Grizzard, Kennedy Winston days, many years ago. Place would be half full.
Yeah.
And the people behind me, they the ones that would actually yell at the games, mostly they're yelling at the referees. And even back then, even in those days, I thought, man, the river region, not necessarily the city of Montgomery proper, there's easily 100 people at those games. What are you talking about, John? Well, but nobody ever challenged him on it. Nobody ever said, except me, nobody ever said, oh, John, you go crazy and everything.
To clarify, I said there aren't 100 people. I believe I used the number 8 for some reason. But I said
to go to 8 games,
because basketball season's what, 20 games or something?
The home schedule.
There's not 100 people within the city of Montgomery that go to 8 or more Alabama games in a season. They never got challenged on it. It's kind of like, Barry, until somebody challenges me on it, I'm right.
Well, that's what I took out of it that time. Of course, most of the time, any sane person would think John's wrong, They just didn't challenge him on it. I'm thinking, somebody stand up for yourself here, Everybody's like, yeah, I don't normally take it that way, but that time I'm thinking people are going, I don't think we do either. I don't think we have that many people go to, Alabama games either. So, hey, in that instance, I think John was right. But now, people are going, they're bringing other people. Yeah. They're wearing the old Marks Madness T-shirts and, all that stuff, They're not actually buying Alabama basketball gear because you can only wear that at basketball games. You're certainly not going to wear that at a football game or anything like that. And if you're a smart Bama fan who loves the school and loves value and loves to save money, you're not making 2 trips. You're going to the game tonight, staying at Saban's hotel tonight.
Yeah.
Going out tomorrow, homecoming, taking a look around campus if you hadn't been in a little while, son, this is where I used to every once in a while go to chem class.
Oh, Barry, yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've done that, and I look back and I see the eye roll and the here we go again.
Yeah.
From the little ones over there. I said, fellas, I mean, you don't know what you're missing here.
That's exactly right. This is the restaurant where we used to go at night and place bets on who would sling the pickle slices on the plate glass window and which one would slip down the fastest. Not those.
I can't believe that Crystal's still not there, but they did put a Waffle House in on University Boulevard. Something I always called for back in my day.
And then, tomorrow, then Saturday, 2:30 start time. What's the Longshore restaurant? Oh, you fratted up.
Oh, you gotta frat it up.
Stop by the old, the old place.
I think I fratted it up a little bit too much last weekend. I don't know if I can do it again. Whew, man, that was a long day.
I think you fratted it up when you were in school there too much.
Yeah, well, no doubt. Okay, so Bob from Pike Road, here's his take on the game Saturday.
Bob from Pike Road. Bama 13, Oklahoma 12.
That's an interesting interesting score.
I do think it'll be low scoring. I think Bob's onto something. Bama will struggle to pass protect, especially versus Mason Thomas. I think he's dead on. The running game will be virtually non-existent. Ty, Jeremy, and the D will put Bama on their back again.
Yeah.
And Bama wins with a late touchdown. I don't disagree with any of that. That's the tone of the game. If I had to be pressed for an opinion, is just basically that.
I'm sure most people are thinking, well, the running game he's talking about is Alabama's. I've certainly seen that, or the lack of it.
Right.
I've been hearing a lot this week. Oklahoma doesn't have much of a running game either. So that statement could be pointed toward both schools. They don't run the ball very well. But defensively, Oklahoma's pretty good. Alabama's been stout at times. I would give their defense pretty high marks. Could this be a low-scoring defensive kind of game? 13-12 seems a little low for me, but I see where Bob's heading there.
I agree with the tone of that. To me, the big factors in this, in Alabama's favor, are Oklahoma turns the ball over a little bit too much, particularly Mateer, who takes a lot of chances. He's a terrific quarterback.
And, Barry, that's something Alabama's been really good at, not turn the ball over.
That's exactly the point. And they also have been pretty good at forcing turnovers. Yep. So, Oklahoma gives Alabama a few extra possessions. It's going to be hard to beat them, especially at Bryant-Denny Stadium.
So, basketball tonight at Coleman. Getting some reports. A lot of people heading up there tonight, maybe because they can't watch the game on YouTube. So they're going to have to go in person. I think number 3 child has found a way to get into the game tonight as well. Good for him.
There you go.
This kid,
learned at the knee of the master.
I don't know if I shared this with you. I mean, almost, that sense of pride. The wife and I are walking to Bryant-Denny Stadium Saturday when the game kicks at 6:30. Actually got to the game a little earlier, Barry, because I wanted to be able to enjoy all of the amenities of where I was sitting.
What?
So I said,
walking to the game and getting there early?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mrs. Longshore, for making a
it was actually her idea. Let's go. And I've been fratting it up for a couple hours. I was tired of fratting it up. So we left the house, walked over to the game, and we got there a little early. And so we're walking to the game, and number 3 child's with us. And his mother goes, well, do you have a ticket to the game? He goes, no. And I said, well, buddy, I ain't got but 2 tickets. He said, it's okay. It's no big deal. So we get to the area of the stadium, which is the east side on the Sorority Row side, which is the side you go in to get into the area in which we were sitting.
Yeah.
And he just, I've got my phone out. I'm ready, to show the ticket for them to scan it. And he kind of says something to the little ticket taker as I'm getting my phone out. And he just kind of goes right by her. I guess she's thinking I've got his ticket on my phone. I start swiping it. She only scans 2 tickets. He's already up there getting a wristband on his arm. He's already in there. And I'm thinking, that doesn't fall far from the tree. This is great.
You can admit it. Now would be a good time to show your sensitive side. You kind of brushed away a little tear there, didn't you?
I kind of did. His mother looked at me and said,
you kind of got a little misty.
She looked at me and said, can you believe that? I went, yeah, I can believe that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Now,
He just
to
enjoyed
any of the
himself.
people over there, what? Huh. People do that? Huh.
He didn't break stride. I looked at her, I said, I think he's done this before. This isn't his first rodeo. He's pretty confident. He didn't break stride
Yeah.
walking past that girl. And
If
getting that
John had been
wristband on
wearing
his arm.
suspenders, he would have pulled him out. And that's
So
boy,
he'll
that's
probably
my
get
boy.
into the basketball game tonight too, whether he's got a ticket or not. So that was awesome.
So
right,
the wristband is for
well, you've got to have a
inclusion.
wristband on. If you're in the box area, you've got to have a wristband.
There
on.
we go. There we go. That's what I was getting at.
You know, they change the colors of the wristband every week. This week, last week's wristband, houndstooth wristbands last week. It was awesome.
I wonder if they ever have any orange wristbands.
And the thing about that, Bear, that's so you can go frat it up at other people's boxes. You can move around from box to box with a wristband.
Another chip off the old block kind of thing.
If you want to watch a football game, that's not the best place to watch the game, if you know what I mean. It's a great place to socialize, and it's comfortable, and you can watch other games on TV. But if you really want to watch the game play for play, you might get a little distracted. But I'm not complaining. Anybody else want to invite me up? I'm in. I am. I'll go Saturday if you invite me. I even drove myself up to the game, believe it or not.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
He got to the game early. He got tired of fratting it up.
Well, I've been there 2.5 hours.
He walked to the game.
Wasn't too far.
Oh my! And he drove himself.
But I
what
had a
in the world is going
I did
on?
Have a parking pass.
Oh well,
so
yeah.
That was the big. Big
that would have been
deal,
the deal breaker otherwise.
All right, Bear. I know you've been waiting with bated breath. When we get back,
yes,
the last week's college football TV ratings have been released. I know you've been waiting to hear this.
Ooh,
yeah,
I'm on that.
Yeah,
I'm actually waiting to hear that. I always like hearing that. It would just always be a little bit unnerving because John would always compare those to Major League Baseball. Now there's no Major League Baseball, so bring it on. Yep.
I guess I can compare it to the NBA.
Coming up in just a little bit as well, Jason Caldwell, AuburnUndercover.com visits with us later on. Rodney Orr, Tiger Insider, all of your chats and stuff. Love those. Great to hear from some of those. Mm-hmm. Keep those coming. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
The dreams that matter most happen while we're awake, because they're the ones that remind us of the places we want to go, of the ideas we plan to pursue, of the legacies we hope to leave. We understand you have goals to meet, and we want to help you reach them, to fuel your vision and invest in whatever motivates you. So we want to know, what inspires you? Synovus Bank, member FDIC.
Stivers Ford of Montgomery has F-150s and Lightnings, each $16,000 off, with 2.9% on F-150 or 0% on Lightning, and Super Duties $12,000 off or 0%.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Stivers Ford of Montgomery has Broncos and Explorers, each $10,000 off, with 2.9% on Explorer, plus Mach-E's at $11,000 off or 0% for 75 months.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Okay, about 20 minutes past the hours. Barry mentioned Jason Caldwell, Auburn Undercover, about 10 minutes here on the program. Always look forward to that. Rodney Orr, the Tiger Insider, brought to you by the Destin Connection Seafood Market at the top of hour number 2. All right. Nielsen television ratings for week 11, most watched college football games. coming in with 7.5 million viewers. LSU at Alabama on ABC.
Yep, looking right at them. That's that's number one. And in terms and in context of all the numbers, it is number one by a lot.
Yeah, pretty good number there. Prime time, maybe that gave them a little boost. Indiana and Penn State, great finish. Saw the end of that game. 6 million viewers.
1.5 million viewers less than LSU Alabama.
This one surprised me. 5.4 million people watched Oregon at Iowa.
That's the one thing that's Iowa. CBS. That's CBS.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that CBS brought to the SEC. Again, John said it the way John said it before. It's the biggest bargain in collegiate sports when the SEC was in bed with CBS, because CBS didn't ask for much, didn't give much money. The SEC didn't ask much money for CBS, John, because CBS brought the television sets.
Yep.
I mean, people would watch CBS just for watching. I think that's what a lot of that is it's just, CBS. It's a good game. It was a good game. Oregon wins it on a field goal at the end, but CBS does bring ratings. They just didn't pay the SEC very much money for all of those.
Bet they wish they had it back.
I bet they do. All right, so
A&M
5.4 million for Oregon and Iowa on CBS.
A&M at Missouri, 4.9 million.
Does that one surprise anybody? That surprises me more than Oregon, Iowa.
Yeah. BYU, Texas Tech, 4 million. This one, a couple of these two surprised me. Navy and Notre Dame, the Naval Academy. A lot of people were in the Navy. A lot of veterans. A lot of current members of the Navy. A lot of Notre Dame fans. A lot of Catholics out there. 3.2 million.
That surprised me as well.
Now, if Notre Dame, let's say, I don't know, was in the SEC and playing at 2:30 or 6:30, and they're playing, I don't know. I'll just throw them out. Mississippi State. I think they're getting more than 3.2 million people watching.
Auburn in 2 years,
Or Auburn in 2 years.
Yeah.
They're getting more than 3.2 million. That seems a little low. Might want to look at something different in terms of a TV deal. Iowa State and TCU didn't even know they were playing, and they got 2.4 million viewers. Georgia at Mississippi State, I guess it was 11 o'clock. I understand it. Only 2.3 million people watched Georgia at Mississippi State. I know it was a blowout, and the Phantom had a premium selection on Georgia -9. Did you just turn it off thinking, Phantom's got this one in the bag? I don't know. That seems a little low. And I do think when you play has a lot to do with it. What time of the day?
Which makes me wonder why some of these games are at, I'd love to know just the average ratings of 8 o'clock kicks,
Yeah.
1 point, let's say Georgia, Mississippi State, ESPN, 2.3 million. That's at the bottom of the top 8 most watched games on college football. 2.3 million. 2.3 million is still a lot.
It's a lot of
It's a lot of anything. Anything at 2.3 million is a lot of something. But again, what we're seeing is that Indiana, Penn State drew 6.
Yep.
Notre Dame drew 3.
Yeah.
Georgia and
Mississippi
Georgia and Mississippi State draw 2.3. I think what we're seeing is the effects of the college football playoff. People are not always looking at brands anymore. I mean, they're still strong, obviously. But they're watching Indiana Penn State to see
I get that.
where
Yeah, I see that.
Indiana can
But
continue.
but here's the thing that surprises me, and I don't have it on my list. Maybe you do. Diego Pavia is like a household name. I mean, people have been following this guy for 4 years.
Yeah.
Where are the Vanderbilt Auburn ratings on this sheet here on this list?
I knew. Why am I blindsided by that? Why did I not?
Are we missing a game here somewhere?
Oh, why did I not?
Huh.
And that was probably one of the best games, at least one of the most entertaining
Yeah.
games out there. I mean, they're going up and down the field and all of that.
Need to find that out. Another reason Mississippi State needs to maybe be seriously considered to get kicked out of the league. They're playing teams they shouldn't on the road, and now they can't get any ratings on the TV scale. State, you better tighten it up. If I was the commissioner, we might be making some moves with you. Tough stuff there. So
But,
I'm going to try to find those Auburn Vandy ratings sometime before the end of the live broadcast today.
In case you're wondering, again, if we had subtitles, like if we're watching a Korean movie and they have subtitles at the bottom, what the subtitles would say right there is, somebody get me the Auburn Vandy ratings. When he says, when Longshore says, I'm going to find the ratings of the Auburn Vanderbilt game before we go off the air. That's code, people. That's code. Somebody get me the Auburn Vanderbilt ratings.
I'm not saying I'm going to be digging them up.
I can give you a ballpark figure, John. Fine, great. It's not like I'm looking for 3.125 million.
I don't need an exact number here.
Yeah. Just
so I'll be interested, Barry, this week. Alabama, Oklahoma, 2:30, Texas, Georgia, prime time. What those ratings are going to be like. I don't see a lot of other big games. I know
those are the only. Yeah, that's an early game. That's at 11 o'clock in the morning. That's where College Game Day is going to be. The only ones who have a real impact on the college football playoff picture is Alabama, Oklahoma, and that Texas Georgia games. I mean, if you have, I don't know, a life outside college football, and you only had time or interest or really to watch just two games, those would be the two games.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, with Texas, Georgia, losers out. You think?
Oh, no, I don't have any doubt about it, unless something crazy happens. But,
because they both have two losses. I mean, Georgia lost to Alabama and Ole Miss, and Texas lost to Oklahoma. I mean, who did they lose to? Ohio State out of the
Ohio
league.
State, yes.
And out of the league. Florida? Florida beat them.
That's right. How did I forget that? Yes. Curtis with a legitimate question here. Hang on. With the legitimate question. Is this 1993 all over again when John is joking on Auburn having the lowest television ratings in the conference? Number one, it wasn't 1993. It was like 1998 because I joined John in 1997. And
93 was the year that they weren't ever on TV.
They went 11-0 that year and beat Alabama at Jordan-Hare Stadium, sealed by James Bostic's touchdown run at the very end. That was really where Jim Fife
came through that pass. When did Patrick Nix win the game? What year was that?
That may have been 93.
I think it might have been 93. Yeah,
I think you may be right. I think you may be right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, no TV ratings that year, Curtis. They were not on TV once.
Yeah. Maybe that's Curtis's point. We'll see.
Yeah.
When we come back, Jason Caldwell, AuburnUndercover.com, is going to join us. Lots of other things coming up again as well. This always brings up one of my favorite stories. Bill from Baltimore said, would a team ever get a TV ban again? And the answer to that is already given by John Longshore. It is no, because it not only penalizes that team, it penalizes all the teams that they're playing on their schedule. That reminds me of the year Clemson got a ban when William the Refrigerator Perry was on that team. Somebody asked him about the sanctions from the NCAA against Clemson that year. He said, man, I can get losing scholarships on our team. I can get, us not being able to take recruiting visits. But he says, man, not being able to watch TV for 2 years, that's going to be tough. One of my favorites. Stand by. Coming up, Jason Caldwell, AuburnUndercover.com next. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
All guests of Longshore McKnight appear on the City of Montgomery guest hotline. Check out the most interesting and informed personalities in sports covering Auburn, Alabama, Troy, ASU, and all the major teams from across the country. John and Barry have the best guests brought to you by the City of Montgomery. To find out everything you need to know that is going on in the capital city, check out montgomeryal.gov. That's montgomeryal.gov, the capital of dreams.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Local banking expertise, the newest innovations and technology, personal attention, genuine hospitality. It's all just part of the River Bank and Trust difference. They invite you to experience it for yourself. Welcome to banking above and beyond at River Bank and Trust. Locations throughout the River region, locations throughout the state of Alabama. River Bank and Trust. Okay, about 28 minutes to the top of the hour on this Thursday. That means our man Jason Caldwell, Auburn Undercover, joining us here this morning. Hey, Jason, hope you're doing well.
I'm good, guys. How about y'all?
We are doing good. I see Barry's mouth. There he goes.
We're having an ongoing battle here. The after shocks of the performance, Auburn versus Vanderbilt overtime. We've heard a lot of different reasons as to why the Auburn offense looks so much better than it did. What are your reasons as to why that happened?
Yeah, I think a couple of different things. I think first of all is I've been saying for years, I think you got to get to the line of scrimmage and snap the football, and I thought they did a good job of that. You heard DJ Durkin last week say we want to be the aggressor, and I just remember over the years watching as Auburn substituted, going back to Gus Malzahn, you substitute, and then Kirby Smart's on the other sideline. He waits a couple of seconds, then he jogs his guys on the field, and he jogs the other guys off the field, and then you have to adjust because they've now changed their personnel, and you look up and there's 5 seconds on the play clock, and there's nothing you can do. I thought Auburn dictated the tempo Saturday and made Vanderbilt's defense try to adjust to them, and I thought that was a huge part of the game. It helps offensive line, helps quarterback. So I thought that was the starting point, but they did a much better job of, I thought, utilizing playmakers and doing it in ways to get the ball out of the hands of Ashton Daniels and just get the ball to Eric Singleton. And look, they're going to give you that 7-8 yard route because he's so fast. Let's take it. And I thought they did a great job of doing those things. And it was as good as an Auburn team's played on offense in my mind in several years before Hugh Freeze. And it's probably Bo Nix against Mississippi State the day he was injured. That's probably the last time I thought Auburn played that well on offense against a good team.
What about the other side of the ball?
Yeah, I thought much like Auburn did. I thought Vanderbilt did the same thing. I thought they said, look, we can't do this playing our normal style of offense. We've got to turn Pavia loose and get into a tempo game. And it started the weekend before. They were trailing Texas in the fourth quarter, and they scored 21 points in the fourth quarter against Texas in Austin. That's a pretty good Texas defense. The end of the first half against Auburn, they we need to go 2 minutes. They scored in 3 plays, and then they kept doing it and said, look, I firmly believe that if they do that with him at quarterback, they're really difficult to beat because I just don't know that you can stop him very much because of the way he just makes plays. I'll be really surprised if they don't just do that the rest of the year and go, look, we're going to give up points, but we're going to make somebody stop us now, because I thought they were really good. No question that having the extra burden of being the head coach and the preparation probably impacted Auburn's defense some. There was really probably 4 or 5 just busted mistakes, plays that cost them. But I really give probably more, just like you can give Auburn's offense credit for doing what they did, I think you got to give a lot of credit to Vanderbilt's offense too, because when you put that guy and just turn him loose in backyard football, it becomes really difficult to stop him.
Well, here's some of the conspiracy theorists saying that really what Derek Nix was able to do, calling the plays, for some people was proof positive that he never really had the opportunity to call offense, to coordinate the offense like he should have. Is there any credibility to that, Jason?
Oh, yeah. No, Hugh Freeze has been calling. I mean, I haven't shied away from that. Hugh Freeze has been the play caller. I mean, like Derek Nix has been involved in calling plays, but ultimately the head coach if he's the play caller, has the chance to call a play. And I don't think there's any question. I think it was a combination of a lot of things. I think it was, here's our plan. We're going to stick to our plan. Here's what we want to do. And I think sometimes they got away from that at times. I thought they stuck with it and did a good job of it. Of course, it was working too.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, this was the first game where, in my mind, you go, Derek Nix is the play caller. I mean, they said that, and it's, in my mind, that's the truth. I don't think he's been involved, but he has not been the play caller until.
It looked so much better. Cam Coleman looked incredible. That's my point, is people are saying, finally they were doing the things they should have been doing all season long, right?
Yeah, and I, some of that too, we'll see once teams now see what this looks like under Derek Nix. It'll be different too. The same, now how do you adjust when people adjust to you? Because that's always the thing. The questions aren't the issue. It's always the answer. Do you have the answers for what people do? Auburn had all the questions to the test before last week. I think the same thing it reminded me a little bit of Florida. Florida did not have the answers the second week under the interim staff.
Yep.
So how do you respond? Now you got a bye week, and you got Mercer, and Mercer defensively shouldn't be a team that should test you a whole lot. But when you get to Alabama, you go, okay, how do you adjust now that teams know what you're going to do and how you do things? And so that's always the biggest part of it. But hey, for my money, like I said, it was as good as an Auburn offense has played in years. And it showed me that, look, again, the pieces are there. The pieces have been there. They just weren't in the right puzzle to this point.
Offensively, will it be vanilla against Mercer, and who will be behind center?
Yeah, that's the question right now, because it right in my mind, Ashton Daniels has to answer that himself. If Ashton Daniels says, look, I want to come back and play another season, then in my mind, that's what you have to do. You have to go, okay, then we won't play you against Mercer. We'll play you against Alabama, and you'll have a chance to play another year of college football. If that's the case, for me, if I was Auburn, if I'm Auburn, then Deuce Knight would be my quarterback. I would need to see what he can do. You give him 2 full weeks to prepare. You build a game plan around him and say, look, we need to see what you can do. You need to see what you can do, because you need to know, as an Auburn athletic department, as an Auburn football program, what you have at quarterback coming back next year, if that's a guy you think to me. So if it's not Ashton Daniels and Ashton says, hey, I want to play, I'm done, then there's no decision. You just go ahead and play. But if he says, I want a red shirt, to me, it would be Deuce Knight, and I would see. Here's the thing: you still want to try win. Your goal is to go win a game, and I think you can do that. But you're also 4-6, and you have a quarterback that has a immense amount of talent, but hasn't really played a meaningful snap. You need to see what that guy can do, and it doesn't cost him a year.
I thought it was interesting, very interesting. Auburn Undercover had an opportunity for a sit-down with Athletic Director John Cohen, specifically about the coaching search. Want to go to the website and subscribe to get the premium content, so I don't want to give away any information. But was there any one point of that interview sit-down with John Cohen where you sat and thought, that was interesting?
Yeah, several of them.
Okay.
The main one for me is how different these things now work. Because for much of my 27 years doing this, when you had a coaching search, the athletic department would talk to an agent and you would have people talking to people, but you never directly spoke really to coaches until it came time to have like a formal interview. Now, because of, Zoom and FaceTime and those things, John Cohen is having conversations with candidates, and it's face to face. Now you're not in the same room, but now you can go, hey, look, you got 10 minutes. Hey, give us 10 minutes instead of, hey, we need to get on a plane and go meet in a hotel in Atlanta. You don't have to do that anymore. To me, that's I think a large part of the reason why you see moves now made earlier, because now you can talk to 30 people if you want to, and narrow things down a great deal before you ever get to that formal interview stage. And heck, by the time you get to it may only be 2 people. You may have already narrowed things down doing it this way. So to me, that's the biggest thing, is that it's changed so much in how things are done that you can get a big head start on it.
Yeah, that is interesting, Jason. I'm just trying to think of the coaching candidates that were interviewed. Did they just shut their office door at their football complex, or did they go home?
or at home when you get home at night? They sit on the patio and talk or whatever. I think that's the interesting part. You go, look, it's not impacting your week. You got 10 minutes sometime. To go, hey, 10 minutes. Let's talk and just see where you're at. What's it look like?
I thought it was interesting. I was reading Philip Marshall's piece earlier today. He was talking about when Doug Barfield got hired, there was a couple of people at the Beard Eaves, the old basketball arena where the athletic offices were. They announced it, and Philip and Barfield walked across campus, went and had lunch somewhere, and nobody even noticed. Just amazing how things have changed in 50, 60 years.
Yeah, no, it's very different now. Yes, no question about it. Like I said, so much more involved. And you're right, now the ability to go talk to coaches and to do it, from your car, from your office, wherever you are, and to do it FaceTime and actually be able to see and as John Cohen said, look into someone's eyes.
Yeah,
that's a beneficial tool now as you go through this process.
Jason, I'm interested in this because, we haven't talked about it this week. Auburn men's basketball beats Wofford handily back at Neville Arena. I love the fact that Alabama is playing Purdue tonight at home. Auburn has number 1 Houston on Sunday up in Birmingham. We've been trying to set that one up a pretty good bit. Does Auburn look different in terms of approach and scheme and everything under Stephen Pearl than Auburn fans have been used to in the past?
Yeah, I think it was going to be different even if it was Bruce Pearl. This is just a different team. You don't have the inside presence that they had with Broome and Dylan Cardwell the last few years. Keyshawn Murphy's been banged up, so they've kind of held him out of a couple of games. So you've been even less of that presence inside. When healthy, he's a guy that'll give them that. But it's definitely faster paced. It's get up and down the court more. I think the most interesting thing about this team so far is they've scored over 90 points 3 games, and Tahad Pettiford hasn't really helped out a whole lot in that. He hasn't really shot the ball, well, and hasn't done those things. To me, that's a pretty good sign for this team that, hey, you get that guy going, then you're going to be a team that scores. They remind me more of what Alabama's been the last 4 or 5 years, in that they may give up more points, but they're going to score more points. That's kind of what this team feels like. It feels more like 2019 than it did the last few years, where that team, when they got on a run, they were capable of beating anyone. But if you have nights where you don't shoot it as well, that's the thing about last year's team. You have nights where you don't shoot as well, and you could dump the ball into Janai Broome and you could do the things you need to do. This team's a little different in that regard.
Back to the coaching search before we let you go. What's the feeling you're getting, Jason, through your website, conversations that you're having? Is there a feeling from fans of a particular candidate that they'd like to see Auburn hire?
No, it's all over the board, really, as you would expect.
Yeah.
There's lots of folks that obviously like DJ Durkin because they've been familiar with him for 2 years, and they liked the energy they saw the other day. But a lot goes into it for sure. And he's a guy that anytime you see these, the players are going to really rally around a guy like that. And I thought they did that. John Summerall is a guy, obviously, that Barry knows really well. You guys know really well, has the makeup. And I don't know him as well. I've met him a few times. But when you hear the words edge and some of the things that are brought to the table, that's what you think of for a guy like John Summerall. But, I think about that with a couple of other guys too. So, it's been across the board. I would say those two guys, Brent Key's name is a guy that is intriguing to some folks. And then, you have Eli Drinkwitz and Rhett Lashley. I mean, there's a lot of people and it'll go back and forth. I think as we get a couple more weeks, you'll start to see this thing kind of start to narrow a little bit.
Kenny Dillingham.
Yeah, I think Dillingham too.
Is legit.
The question you have is, he's from there. He went to school there. Yeah. But we know the draw of the Southeastern Conference. We know the draw of playing in this league and what it brings. And so I think that's something you always have to gauge. Even for a guy like Brent Key, you have to gauge that going, look, I know it's, it's there. And people go, hey, man, the opportunity to get to the playoff is easier in those kind of leagues, but is it? It was when it was 4. It may not be when it's 12.
That's a great point.
You may have one team in those leagues. You may have 5 out of this one. All of a sudden, that doesn't hold as much water as it did maybe a couple of years ago.
That's a great point. Jason Caldwell, AuburnUndercover.com. Always great insight. So many things happening athletically at Auburn. How do people log in and make sure they don't miss a bit of your coverage?
Yeah, like I said, check us out, AuburnUndercover.com. 60% off right now if you haven't subscribed. So the coaching search deal, so you can get that right now. Basketball, got some baseball going on, the Orange and Blue World Series this week, so it's a perfect
big recruiting haul evidently for baseball.
Yeah, they had number 7 class in the country. They signed yesterday, and so a whole lot going on. So enough to keep you busy for sure. So come check us out, AuburnUndercover.com.
No doubt. Jason, thank you so much. We always appreciate your time. Look forward to next week.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You too, buddy. Thank you, Jason Caldwell, Auburn Undercover. Got to check it out for all of the latest Auburn athletic news.
Yeah, it's a good point he brings up, because some people, when they're trying to handicap coaching searches and stuff, well, they say, well, he's got an easy in if he's in the ACC, or he's got an easy in if he's in the Big 12. The ACC ain't got anybody easy in right now. I mean, I think everybody – I don't think anybody wants to win the ACC just the way they're playing right now. So they may get one. The SEC may have teams with just as many losses as the ACC does. The SEC may have teams. Those teams have a better chance of getting in at what? 6-2 in the league, or 5-3 in the league, than a 5-3 ACC team who's got no prayer, John. So I think that's a really good point. And it's all because of the 12-team playoff rather than.
And, we've heard so much about schedule strength. Notre Dame, for one, who have they played? Who have they beaten? Indiana is another. And I wonder, if you look there again, if Alabama loses Saturday afternoon, how much of their schedule strength is going to benefit them? We heard about it all in October. Alabama beat 4 ranked teams in a row, 2 of them on the road. Is that still going to be a big factor come early December? If Bama's got 2 losses, where if they make the playoff, if they're positioned in the playoff, if they do make it to Atlanta and end up with 3 losses, do they still get to the playoff because of schedule strength in the regular season? Greg Byrne and a lot of these SEC ADs have said, listen, we don't have a problem playing a difficult schedule because we feel like it'll benefit us when it comes to playoff time. I just wonder how many losses you can take. And I'm sure, it's fluid. It's going to change year in and year out, because I'm assuming Notre Dame's not going to play cupcakes every year, or Indiana or some of these other schools. So I don't know. I think that's why I think the next 3 to 4 weeks are going to be really interesting.
Yeah, and there's another layer to what John's talking about, and I agree with him 100%, and that's the nature of those losses. If Alabama were to take 2 more losses badly, whether it's this week or again, in the SEC championship game or this week in the Auburn game and not make it to the stuff like that, the nature of of those losses are also going to be a factor. But I think he's absolutely
Well, that's
right.
an interesting point, Barry. If Alabama, and way off sides, Jeff says no way Bama loses on Saturday. I love your confidence there, Jeff. I hear you, man.
Yeah.
But if Alabama does lose Saturday and loses to Auburn, doesn't make the SEC championship game, do they still make the playoff? Because of the schedule strength that they had in October? Does that Florida State loss come back to bite them?
Golly, the Florida State thing, they don't even look like the same team.
And Barry, if they
anymore.
lose to Auburn, they're losing to a 500 Auburn? Or
And a below 500 Florida State, yeah. Nothing is etched in stone, but I do believe the one calling card, the one get out of jail free card Alabama has is that stretch in October. But they could give that away pretty easily if they don't play well. They handle business they're in, even if they win by 1 point at home against Oklahoma and they win by a late field goal at Auburn. I think they're in. If they lose those games, I think they still have a chance, but they better not lose those badly.
Yeah, they'll need Georgia to win out. That helps them, obviously. Beat Texas and Georgia Tech. That'd be big for Bama to have beaten Georgia, and Georgia can win out. I think that'd be pretty big. I mean, LSU, they got Arkansas and Oklahoma left. Oklahoma's got to play A&M, I believe. No, they play LSU, Missouri and LSU. So one just looking at some other teams, and does Tennessee need to beat Vandy, or does Vandy need to beat Tennessee? What's better for? I guess Vandy beating Tennessee is better for Alabama since they beat Bama. They beat them both, actually. So kind of wonder about that. Just trying to do the math in my head about other teams Bama's played. What do they need to do to help Bama's cause?
Just look at John and listen to what he's saying and visualize him as a committee member of the College Football Playoff Committee. Because the things he's kind of running around in his head, well, what if this happens, or what happens if LSU? Those are exactly the things that the committee is rolling around in their heads as well.
I could not be on that committee, Barry. I'd be so frustrated. After about 20 minutes, I said, folks, come on. Let's get this wrapped up. Why has this got to last all day?
I mean those
I
people
can tell you who ought to be in right now.
Those people are spending so much of their spare time working on this and watching games and talking with people and doing some homework. And they're really, really, really working hard on it. And their heart is pure. They just want the betterment of college football and to be fair all the way around. And then they get in this thing, and 20 minutes, Longshore is looking at them and going, what?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Are you kidding me?
All of this purity of heart and all of this hard work, and 20 minutes in, Longshore's giving him the lip flutter.
Yeah, lip flutter, eye roll, throat clear. Folks, don't give me your matrix. Don't give me your analytics. I don't want the numbers. This is an eye test. A beauty pageant. Here are the 12 hotties right here. Boom.
The first time somebody puts on the big screen in the committee room at the Hyatt Regency a pie chart.
Oh,
John ain't having it, man. I'm just telling you. Let's take a break right
here's
here.
My list. I'll meet you guys in the bar. I'm heading to the bar right now. I'm out.
Terrence says this. Terrence says the 12-team playoff has made the season so much more interesting and better than the old system where for most teams their season was over before September 30th. I don't know about that. I think it devalues the regular season a little bit because, Alabama's not saying, oh my gosh, golly, have we got to win this game. Bama fans are saying, well, if we don't win this game, we still got the Obs. We're all right. We're all right. In the past, in the old system, they lose a couple of games, done. Regular season mattered back then. I also think what it does devalue definitely is that whatever it is, first week in December when everybody has their conference championship games, nobody gives two toots about the conference championship
I'm with you
games.
there. I think the conference championship games have been devalued. to some degree. But Terrence, keep preaching, brother. I'm in the pulpit with you. It does make the regular season more exciting. More people are involved. More people are engaged. Conferences are. Teams across the country. It used to not be that way. They packed their bags. Football was over. Now they're still interested. They got a chance. There's some hope. And Bama, and they're even if you're in Bama's position, you got to win. I mean, this is a big game. A lot of very nervous. Got to win, but it's also about positioning in that playoff. Do you want that bye? Do you want to host a game? You got to do whatever it takes to get yourself in a better position in that bracket. And Barry, when we add 4 more teams, it's going to be even better. It's going to be more beautiful. We have 16 out there, and then more people are engaged. And look, let's let them all in. I mean, I'm glad we closed the southern border. When it comes to the college football border, more.
He may not be in the pulpit with you, Terrence, but if you're watching on TV at home, he's the song leader in the background. Every once in a while, he'd be going, all that kind of stuff. And,
I will say
amen, brother, preach it.
If you're going to cross the border to get into the 16-team playoff, you do need to have a big boy card, though. I will say that. I mean, all these
you need to
guys trying to get in. I don't know about y'all. I don't know.
John has different layers of his outlook as well. He is a conservative when it comes to certain things politically. He is a liberal when it comes to the college football playoff.
No doubt.
And it's the same thing with college football. In college football, he's very conservative in terms of who the big boys are.
Yeah.
But in terms of the playoff, hey, we'll give you a chance.
I'm like AOC and Bernie Sanders when it comes to the playoff. You kidding me? Heck yeah.
Maxine Waters, no question about it. But what about this? Way offsides, Jeff said there aren't 16 big boys. That's the problem. Way offsides, Jeff. That's the great thing about it.
Touche.
I love the fact that a 16-team playoff gives more of a chance, I think, at least theoretically, to the Boise States.
Yeah.
And, to the whomevers, to the Tulanes, to the Northern Illinoises.
Years ago, I got up on the soapbox and stumped for Tulane when they went 12-0. I think Sean King was their quarterback.
That's just because they kept paying off for you.
Well, true.
Okay.
I won a ton off Tulane that year.
Tommy Bowden was the head coach.
And I just said, listen, look, we all know Tulane isn't going to beat Miami or whoever the hot team was that time of year, that era. But at least give them a chance. Let Tulane prove that they're not worthy. So what? Maybe they do win. Who knows? So I don't have a problem with a Tulane or a Boise or even a South Florida. If they get hot, okay, let them stick their toe in the water and see what happens. You're only going to get 1, maybe 2 out of 16 teams. And I hear you, Jeff. They're not 16 big boys, but let them come to the dance with the big boys and see what it's like for 60 minutes.
Just not too many of them. Let's not go crazy with them.
Yeah, let's don't dilute the thing.
When we come back, Rodney Orr visits with us, top of the second live hour. In just a moment, of Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry and Longshore and McKnight are giving you the opportunity to win a 1-carat lab-grown diamond valued at $500. Pick the exact score for either the Auburn or Alabama games each week. Limit 1 entry per person, per household, per game. You can enter anytime beginning Monday morning the week of the games, and all entries must be received before kickoff of each game. Enter by emailing your picks to longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. That's longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. And in the subject line, type in diamonds. 1 additional entry to win a 1-carat natural diamond valued at $3,000 will be up for all weekly winners to pick the score in the national championship game. Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry, 8163 Vaughan Road in Peppertree, adjacent to Chappie's Deli. Open 7 days a week, or check them out at marguerites.com. At Marguerites, they make it. They really make it.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? in your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch, Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market at 3750 Norman Bridge Road in Montgomery has the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of America. I'm talking red snapper and grouper, all sizes of Gulf shrimp, jumbo lump crab meat and crab claws, Louisiana Bay oysters, and New Bedford scallops. They are a full-service seafood market and kitchen serving po' boys, dinners, and sandwiches. You know, many well-known restaurants in the river region purchase their seafood from the Destin Connection because they know it's the absolute best. Call ahead and your order will be ready for pickup. The Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call 288-4272. That's 288-4272. Okay, the top of hour number 2 here on a Thursday. You saw that beautiful red snapper there from Destin Connection. Barry, I'm picking some up tomorrow afternoon as I head out of town, heading down to the Gulf Coast. Certainly, yes, I buy my seafood here and take it back down there because I know it's the freshest available. It is the best catch, no doubt about it. Going to cook some up over the weekend, and I'm getting it from Destin Connection, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Arriving daily, the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of Mexico. Call ahead, 288-4272. Your order will be ready for pickup. The Destin Connection Seafood Market. Rodney Orr, the Tighter Insider, who is brought to you by our friends at the Destin Connection, joining us now. Hey, Rodney, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing great, guys. How are the both of you?
Doing great. Fantastic.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we got you. I'm struggling over here. I'm in Norfolk, Virginia right now, getting ready for football tonight. Couple of things I wanted to ask you about. First of all, about the nature of the game coming up on Saturday. Oklahoma, they do a lot of things well on the defensive side of the football. What strikes you about matchups in this game on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, I really think that, and again, I'm talking to some of the Oklahoma people that cover that program and know it really, really well. And I think that really the thing that stands out to me is going to be, can Alabama protect Ty Simpson? Because they have a really fierce pass rush. They have 33 sacks on the year, Oklahoma does. And let me say this, Todd Bates is their defensive line coach, an Alabama guy. He's done an incredible job of developing all of their defensive linemen that they have. They can rotate guys in. They've got some guys injured, some key guys, a couple of guys, but, you know, they've just got so much depth there. So they can really pressure the quarterback. Now, with that said, Joey Aguilar had a huge game against them. He threw for nearly 400. Yeah, he threw for nearly 400 yards. I think the thing that really hurt Tennessee in that game was just their turnovers, you know, and Oklahoma had a pick six in the game. That was the difference in the game probably. But so just their pass rush is the thing that really stands out to me. And if Alabama protects Ty Simpson, he's going to have some opportunities for plays, big plays.
Looking back to last Saturday night, I've been trying to find the right way to describe it all week. Okay, Bama win by 11, but just something about that game, Rodney, just didn't blow me away. I didn't walk away going, wow, that was overly impressive. I mean, this team is on a roll, talking about Alabama. Was I wrong in that? Did I see the game differently than everybody else?
I think you saw it exactly like everyone else. I heard I heard the comments in the press box. This is a hard game to watch.
Yeah,
just wasn't a great performance overall. Now I will say this. With that said, I thought Alabama's defense, even though LSU, let's be honest, they've struggled some offensively, but I thought Alabama's defense played extremely well. And really, what I mean by that, not only holding LSU to 232 total yards, but I just thought it was the overall enthusiasm, energy, passion. Confidence. They looked like they knew where they were supposed to be. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, there's been spots since DeBoer's been here with Kane Womack as the defense coordinator that they've been out of position. They've made a lot of mistakes and different things, and now they seem to be, the last few weeks, they've started coming around. But I thought this last game they played really well. But offensively, what did we say in the inside the 5 last week? They have to get that rhythm in the passing game, and it just wasn't there. I think the pressure that LSU brought kind of got to Alabama, kind of got to Ty a little bit. He missed some throws that he had there. But hopefully now, the last 2 weeks, with the way South Carolina defended and then the way LSU brought the pressure, they're making some adjustments offensively for this game.
I have a friend of mine who knows ball a pretty good bit, and it's kind of borne out. I saw this on social media, and I brought it up to him. There's a couple of social media things about how physically Bray Hubbard and Red Morgan are playing on defense. He likes – I can't say what he said specifically, but he says he likes the way that Hubbard and Morgan are knocking the stuffing out of people.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, and that's true. And Red Morgan has been a guy that probably should have mentioned him before. I mean, he is a guy that the last several weeks, when he gets in the game, he's making plays. I mean, he's making tackles. He's, defending passes. He's where he's supposed to be, and he's bringing a lot of enthusiasm and fire there at that Husky position. So he's done a really, really good job. And I think that goes back to one of the things that we've talked about repeatedly, and that is that Kalen DeBoer and this staff, they're not reluctant to play a bunch of guys if they're ready to play. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what you see in the secondary. Yeah. We see them rotating. We see Zay Mincy come in at safety. We see Sab, of course, Bray Hubbard, and you see those corners rotating a lot. And I'll say this too, because we've talked about him a lot. And I think John asked me about him last week or so, about Dejon Lee. The 5-star corner out of California. Or maybe that was you, Barry. I can't remember. But
no,
anyway.
It was a couple of weeks ago. He's a big, rangy kid. I like the way he looks out there.
He is. And if you saw early, and I said this last week on the show, I said, I'm kind of concerned about Traydell's Green, their 6'7" guy, the receiver / tight end that they move around. I was concerned that he may cause some problems. And you saw early on, they went to that ball to the right corner of the end zone, and Dejon just went up and knocked it away. It was height against height, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, so Dejon Lee's been really, really good there. Damani kind of his reps have been diminished a little bit with the emergence of number 5.
Yeah, no doubt. Rodney, we talk about it every week, so I don't want to harp on it. But the running game, different personnel. Someone's asking about A.K. Deer. I mean, we've talked about Daniel Hill. I've given you my thoughts about him. Nothing against Jam Miller. I'm just not overly impressed. You think we'll see anything different Saturday afternoon in the backfield?
Well, I don't know. I know that someone spoke to DeBoer last week about potentially A.K. Deer playing. And, the response was, well, look, we think he's got a lot of talent. We know what he can do with the ball in his hands. It's when he doesn't have the ball in his hands. Mm-hmm. And he makes it pretty predictable when he's in the game that we're going to run the ball. Because if we throw it, he's not prepared to pick up the blitz and do the other things that he has to do. So, I think they're extremely high on him. He's got great vision, it appears, from what we've seen. Now, we watched him in high school, but the opportunities he's had at Alabama, he popped that big run, and that was, he used some vision on that play to find that hole. And that's really what we haven't seen. Jam is not, Jam just doesn't seem comfortable right now. He's not seeing it.
I think that's a good way to put it. He doesn't seem to be able to see it. I don't want to put A.K. Deer in the same category as Sean Alexander, but he was known not to be a good blocker either.
Well, and John, somebody mentioned that too on TigerInsider.com, because I kind of shared that tidbit, of course, on the website. Yeah. But as you know, and as we know, the game is so different now. I mean, back then you lined up in the I formation and you handed the ball to the guy. And now there's so many different things. Stallings was going to run it. If he ran 70 plays, he was going to run it 69, if he could. And it's just, the game has just changed so much.
It has.
I wanted, this is something that's kind of the undercurrent to everything that nobody talks about. Ryan Grubb, the offensive coordinator, as reported on TigerInsider.com on the press conference, was talking about Oklahoma and signal stealing. And he says they're really, really good at that. Now, obviously, the responsibility is upon you. If you're sloppy and how you communicate to your team or how you signal in stuff like that, then, I guess, it's all fair game. But that happens all the time. Very few people talk about it, but your ability to steal signals is a thing, Rodney.
Yeah. And they seem to play it off quite a bit. I know DeBoer was asked about it as well. And he's, look, it happens. I'm sure Alabama does it and, tries to do it. Any edge you can get, so it's up to like you said, Barry, it's really up to, making sure that you have things adjusted, changed each week. So you don't fall into that trap. And I think DeBoer made it pretty clear, and Grubb did too, that they're going to make adjustments and they'll be prepared. Yeah. And I'll say this, with that said, and this is kind of going back, I really think when you look back at Venables when he was at Clemson in 2018, that might have been one of the biggest differences in that national championship game. Because, and I know Loxley did not change up a lot throughout the year in terms of the play calling, but they knew what plays were coming before they were coming.
No doubt.
Because they defended, especially between the 20s, Tua moved them up and down the field. They got in the 20 inside the 20, and Alabama just couldn't score. But anyway, that's not.
I wish I'd have known that before I flew all the way out there, Rodney. I mean, gee whiz.
Hey, we can share a lot of stories about that, but that's for another day.
Oh man, what a trip! That was terrible. Going to come back to football, but Rodney, tonight at Coleman Coliseum, huge early matchup in the round ball with Purdue coming to town.
You're right, and it's so funny. You guys know basketball. You know how it goes. But I'm just looking at TigerInsider.com, and that was a huge win, obviously that Alabama had.
Yeah.
Incredible win to go up to St. John's and beat Pitino the way they did. And Pitino had some really interesting comments, I thought, afterwards, especially when I think he emphasized that, this is a really difficult team to guard. Tough team to guard. So, again, I think what Oates is doing is a fantastic job there. The way he is, every year he remakes this team. And, they're playing really well. Philon's amazing. And I thought Bull Bowen, the transfer from Florida State, made a huge impact with rebounding, because that's a key for this team. And if he can continue to do that and get some help, then, this could be a really, really outstanding team. Now, with all that said, you guys know that basketball is a long season. We've got people on TigerInsider.com that it's that football mentality. There's going to be some peaks and valleys. You know what I mean? You're going to lose some games.
That Tiger Insider basketball fan thinks they're going undefeated? Not going to
undefeated. Hey, listen, 38-0, whatever it is.
Yeah,
they got them 38-0 right now.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
But no, I say that to say this is it. I'm trying to think, John. You probably remember better than I do in terms of basketball. Has there ever been a bigger game in terms of just this early in the season, bringing in a number 2 team, and this is going to be a pretty high level
conference. This highly rated. I cannot think of one, because Rodney, back when I was in school, they were playing Athletes in Action in the middle of November. They weren't playing Purdue.
No, you're right. I remember those games well too. But no, I'm just thinking that this is probably as big of an early season game, or maybe as big a game as they've had, like I said, non-conference, number 2 team in the country. So, I mean, what an atmosphere! What an atmosphere this has a chance to be.
Well, let's talk about atmosphere a little bit in a different vein. John said we'd get back to football, and I wanted to ask you about this. If you were a director of recruiting or a general manager or whoever is handling your official visits and stuff, and somebody asked you to draw up an absolute perfect scenario for an official visit weekend, LSU coming in, standing room only crowd, national television audience, all this stuff as well. I don't know that you could, in your biggest dreams, draw up a better atmosphere for recruiting visits than the atmosphere that was there in Tuscaloosa on Saturday night. How did all of that go? How did all of that play out for Alabama in terms of official visits?
Yeah, well, these visits, it's amazing because there was a lot of people that thought that once Saban left, that it wouldn't be the same.
Right.
But what you've seen from Kalen DeBoer is pretty amazing, in my opinion, and the staff that he's hired. They're doing an incredible job. Obviously, they've got a class lined up that they're signing. And yeah, the atmosphere was good, very good, really good. And I'm sure these kids were extremely impressed. I don't think it was the best I've ever seen because there wasn't quite the energy in the stadium that we've kind of experienced, like Tennessee, for example. The energy that night was like through the roof, especially when Zabian returns that touchdown, 99 yards.
Yep.
So you really didn't have that. Like you said, like we talked about, it wasn't a fun game to watch. Now, with all that said, it was still a solid, good atmosphere, but they do such a good job of lining these players up, building relationships with them. Mm-hmm. And to be honest with you, getting specific here, they're in a good position. Obviously, with the class they have lined up. And Samson Gash is a wide receiver. Keep an eye on him, 2026 kid out of Detroit. He's supposedly maybe the fastest player in the history of the state of Michigan. That's been timed. So his dad, Sam Gash, played at Penn State and played in the NFL.
I know. Yeah, I did. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, but as far as moving forward, I mean, the list of the guys that they brought in that I think they have a great shot at. And again, it's early. These guys, things are going to change. Coaching changes could really impact things. But just Elijah Haven, maybe the number one quarterback in the 2027 class out of Baton Rouge. We talk about Keelan Russell. Well, this is another guy. I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, if you land Elijah Haven and you have Keelan Russell in that same quarterback room, wow. I mean, you're talking about just pure talent. It's amazing. But I think Alabama's in good position there. Matthew Hiller is an offensive lineman out of Coatesville, Pennsylvania. He's a 5-star that is, Alabama did a fantastic job with this weekend. So, and I can't tell you how many 5-stars off the top of my head, maybe 6 or 7 from the 27 class that were here.
Yeah.
They're doing a fantastic job. Now, listen, I'll say this. Here's what's amazing to me, and I'm not knocking anybody, so I just want to be clear.
Understand.
They're recruiting all these high-level players at all these positions except defensive line.
Huh. And that's something we've talked about a lot with you, Rodney, the defensive line.
Doesn't mean that now, look, they have some guys lined up in this class that I think are really good players and can be outstanding players, can be developed into really good players. They've got to get bigger. But I mean, just talking about interior, what do they call them? War daddies.
Yep.
Somebody sent me a video yesterday of Jonathan Allen, Ashawn Robinson, Dalvin Tomlinson, all warming up for the 2015 SEC championship game. And you're sitting there going, where are those guys now? And again, I understand they don't grow on trees, but if you look at this early 2027 class, we're not seeing those again. We're probably going to see guys that you bring in that you develop and get bigger. But otherwise, and listen, I'll say this for the defensive line right now, the way they're performing, I think they're playing really, really well together, by the way.
Yeah, you've talked about that D-line for a long time now. You'd think they'd start listening to you over there at that football complex, Rodney,
It's just, hey, look, it's just an observation.
Yeah, I understand. If you were guessing, I know hypotheticals are not something that are encouraged, particularly when Coach Saban was there, but I'll go ahead and ask you one anyway. Do you think Ty Simpson returns for the 26th season?
Now, let me think for a second here.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good question. Go ahead and ring the bell.
Ding.
I don't know. Well, listen, I think the next how we finish this out will go a long way to determine that. Here's the thing. If you're considered a top 15 pick, how can you not go?
Yeah.
And listen, I could see Ty needing another year just to get a bunch of more starts and experience. But I just don't think if you're considered a top 15 pick, and right now I saw somebody yesterday had him the number 2 pick overall. Now, again, those are mock drafts. Those things change. But
I mean, somebody fit. I mean, you look at what's going on with Mac Jones. And when he first got in the league, I'm thinking, oh boy, this guy'll never make it. Now he's killing it.
Well, John, as you know, it's so much about who you've got around you.
Right.
And I mean, Jalen Hurts has made a career of having great players around him. Let's just be honest. He's got the best defense. He's got the best of everything around him. And he does a good job of managing it all. And, you put him in a different situation, it might be different. You put Mac Jones or you put Tua in Philadelphia or you put Bryce in Philadelphia. Yep. Things change for them too. I mean, it's all about who do you have around you. And that's not a knock on anyone. I mean, it's just that's kind of the way it is no matter what level you're on as a quarterback. It's hard to play the game without really good players around you at all the other positions. So, with that said, I think that Ty, it's going to be an interesting decision for him because, listen, here's the thing, and I think you guys would agree with this maybe, and that is that Keelan Russell's not going to sit long, right?
That's kind of
that's a good point. I had not thought about that.
Particularly when I saw that assistant coach from South Carolina grab him and start talking to him after the game, and DeBoer saw it and ran over there and snatched him away.
I just think that when push comes to shove, if Ty is a top 15 pick, you can't. I mean, I can see coming back. I understand that, but if you're a top 15 pick, you got to go. Listen, I thought one of the biggest blunders ever was Matt Barkley at USC years ago when he was going to be the number 1 pick, and he came back that year under Kiffin and he totally bombed out. And I don't know what all happened to Matt Barkley, but so Ty, I would guess now, John, to answer your question, I think he goes. If I had to guess now, today.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We'll talk about it 6 weeks from now and see what.
No doubt.
A lot can change for sure. Rodney Orr, TighterInsider.com. The insight is always great. So much more. We're just scratching the surface on all of Rodney's knowledge, all of the input from all of the people at TighterInsider.com. How do people become members at the website, Rodney?
Yeah, it's TighterInsider.com. It's only $48 a year. You can get instant access with your credit card, or if you prefer, there is an address there to send a check. Gives y'all our premium information, but also our All Sports Forum. That's our community of Alabama fans there. It's a great community, talking a lot of basketball. It's going to be wild tonight, I know, on the board, hopefully in a positive way. But all there right now on TighterInsider.com.
Outstanding, Rodney, as always. Thank you for your time. We always look forward to it, and we'll touch base again next week.
Okay, guys. Appreciate it. Take care.
You too, buddy. Thank you so much. Rodney Orr, the Tighter Insider, brought to you exclusively by the Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road, the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf, arriving daily. Grouper, snapper, you name it. Any type of fish, they've got it there. Their display case, their shrimp, their oysters, their bay scallops. They got them there for you. You can take them home. They'll ice it up or they'll prepare it for you. Just call ahead 288-4272 and enjoy the freshest seafood in the river region from the Destin Connection Seafood Market. When we return, the Phantom's Daily Dog and how should I put this? I just want to ask you some general questions about tonight's game. We'll do that. I've got to be careful how I phrase these questions, but they're pretty general. This is stuff you can pick up in the newspaper, so to speak.
Okay. All right.
About Troy's game with ODU tonight.
Tonight on ESPN, that's why I'm in Norfolk, Virginia right now doing the show. John Longshore in his main studio. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information.
Building your finances doesn't happen by chance. It takes guidance tailored to your needs. That's what Synovus provides. Advice from experts you can trust. Solutions for your day-to-day life. So when it's time to make decisions, you can do so with confidence, knowing you're closer to the future you want. From basic banking to financial planning. Let's discuss what's next. Visit a Synovus branch near you. Call 888-SYNOVUS or visit synovus.com/get there to get started.
Prattville Carpet is the most trusted name in flooring in the River region. Ray Bowles and his staff have an extensive line of Mohawk, stain-resistant carpeting in all the latest styles and colors. Prattville Carpet also has hardwood, vinyl, and ceramic tile for all of your flooring needs. Professionally installed at the absolute lowest prices. Take advantage of cash and carry vinyl plank at just $239 a foot. Call them today to set up your free measurement for your home, office, lake house, hunting camp, or wherever you need flooring. 285-8117. That's 285-8117, or drop by 2201 Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville for Prattville Carpet. Okay, here we go. It is about 27 minutes past the hour. How long was Rodney on today? Wow.
I actually had another question I was going to ask him.
Yeah.
And we could have been, done the whole hour with him. The passing of Woodrow Lowe, who I got to visit with Woodrow. He used to coach at Central of Phoenix City among the several stops and everything. And I got to visit with him, not one-on-one, but in a group. And I was really impressed with him just as a human being and as a Christian. And I looked up his numbers, and holy smokes, he's like Leroy Jordan. He made just about every tackle there was to make at the University of Alabama.
Woodrow Lowe, awesome. I mean, you're right.
Sorry to hear that. I think he was 71. Rest his soul.
Would think, Barry, maybe in the summer we can have a Woodrow Lowe Day and talk about him for an extended period of time. That'll be fun.
I'm writing that down. I'm putting that down for sure. But we could have gone longer. So 24 minutes.
Yeah, Rodney's
and we cut it off.
He is a busy man. Got to let him go. And we're busy as well. I know our man Brian Reynolds, RTJ Golf, Cambrian Ridge, going to join us here in just a moment with some great news and stuff you need to know about the trail, particularly with gift-giving season coming up for the golfer on your list. Brian's going to tell us about that here in a moment. But the Phantom's Daily Dog. Let's don't spend a lot of time, Barry. I know we're a little pressed for time here this morning. Aren't we? Aren't we pressed for time? No, we're not. Okay.
Nah.
So we took a little MACtion again last night. Ugh. MAC football has not been good to the Daily Dog. I will tell you that. We had Miami of Ohio at home catching 4.5, a home dog of 4.5. They could have been a home dog of 20.5, and it wouldn't have mattered because Toledo wins the game 24-3. What is going on with Miami of Ohio? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Gee.
John has some questions he wants answered from Miami of Ohio. Like, where are you? What is your mascot? Have you ever had any decent players come out of there? The only great player I know, I know some names, but people won't remember him. Yeah. Ben Roethlisberger went to Miami of Ohio. Yeah. Ben Roethlisberger wasn't walking through that door last night. No,
he wasn't, unfortunately. So, yeah, tough night in the MAC. So let's move on to today's Daily Dog. And before we get to the Daily Dog, I got a couple of questions. Tonight, there's an NFL game. Jets at the Pats. The Jets are terrible. They stink. But there's also another game tonight.
Okay. They're awful. They're not even worthy of, wiping off the sole of my shoes.
They're not.
But
they play the Saints in mid-December, right before Christmas. I can't wait to see which team is worse.
Yeah.
All right, but we got a college game tonight, Barry. And it's a game pitting two teams that have never met before. Their first ever meeting.
Yes.
Is that right?
That is true. Never have met. I think that is the only team in their league that they have never played.
Yep.
Until tonight.
First ever meeting.
Yes.
There's no history here.
Zero.
Nothing to look back on to see how it's gone prior to this meeting. Now, we do know, Troy had a 5-game winning streak, got snapped last week against Arkansas State. Old Dominion had back-to-back losses earlier this year against two pretty good teams, Marshall and James Madison. But I will ask this, and I'll phrase it this way, because I don't know if you can say anything about it, and if you don't, I completely understand.
Okay.
Is the starting quarterback for Troy tonight a game-time decision?
No, it is not.
Okay.
The starting quarterback will be the same quarterback who has started the last 5 games. As I understand it, it could change. Will, and who has gone 4-1, and that's Tucker Kilcrease. Kilcrease got the starts because Goose Crowder had gotten hurt in the Memphis game in week 3. I will, and Coach Parker has said this in the press conference and otherwise. Goose Crowder will play tonight.
All right.
I don't know that. I don't think that he will start, but 2 quarterbacks will play for Troy.
Well, it's interesting, Barry, because somebody else has picked up on that. I'll read you the exact quote. Troy is likely going to throw some wrinkles into this game with 2 quarterbacks that are likely going to play. So don't be surprised if you see some unique things out of this Trojan offense. I'm just reading what somebody else is reporting.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you what they were reporting.
Yeah, Philip Marshall.
One other, no, he wouldn't know that.
Believe me. I realize that. Yes.
Let me. How do I phrase this question?
Yeah, that's public record. They both will play. Goose will play. I would be mildly surprised if he is the starter.
Yep. Look for some offensive wrinkles with that combination. Just saying. How do I phrase this question? Has there been a little extra work with the offensive line during this off week? Because I understand Gilchrist was sacked 9 times against Arkansas State.
Yes, he was. And it wasn't just the offensive line. There was injuries in the running game. Jordan Lovett had played the week before and run for 112 yards. He didn't play, but maybe 3 or 4 snaps against Arkansas State because he was hurt. Tay Meadows, who had been the starter, he was maybe 60%, and he just, toughed it out and was not effective. So it wasn't just the offensive line. There was not a whole lot of respect for Arkansas State given to Troy's decimated run game.
All right. To give Old Dominion a little, give you a little info on them, the Monarchs, their offense is top 15 in the country in yards per play this year. Very few teams have been able to slow the Monarchs down. But you know what? We're not really overly concerned about slowing the Monarchs down. They're going to get theirs. It's just, as we call it, keeping it within striking distance. You want to keep it within striking distance, so you got a chance there at towards the end of the game. So I'm looking, Barry, across the board here, and some movement since earlier this morning. Obviously, people anticipating what the Daily Dog's going to be today.
Ooh, all right.
Because I'm looking at BetMGM, FanDuel, Hard Rock, Caesars Palace, MGM, I think I mentioned them, FanDuel. The best number I see is Troy catching 11.5. I saw 12.5 less than an hour ago. So Troy, some people have them at 10.5. There's a big group that has them at 11.5. Obviously, Barry, we're going to take the best value that we can get. tonight for the Daily Dog, we like the Troy Trojans catching 11.5, at least keeping it within the number, staying within striking distance to get the win when it's all said and done on ESPN tonight. It is your Thursday Daily Dog, Troy plus 11.5.
And the Phantom, with such a magnanimous, generous giving heart, he is of the opinion, hey, Troy, if you cover for me, go ahead and treat yourself.
Go ahead and win the game.
To a little outright victory,
Yes.
you know? That'd be perfectly fine.
Interesting breakdown there. It's going to be a fun game to watch tonight. Looking forward to that one.
Since you bring that up, a couple of things I can tell you. Old Dominion, they do run up and down the field, but they are among the poorest teams in the country in red zone offense.
Yep.
They also, I think, last I checked, they lead the nation in turnovers committed.
Yes.
Which is one of the reasons why they have not been great within the red zone. They are a big play offense. They can score from 70 and 50 and all that. But when they get in close, it's a little bit more difficult. That'll be a key to the game as well.
Yeah.
Just watch tonight.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that. So, as I mentioned, Brian Rule is going to join us here in just a moment. John, on the chat line, you're right. Big C's annual golf tournament. I've actually played in that event several years ago. It is a ton of fun. Of course, it benefits the Butler County Alumni Association at the University of Alabama.
Tuscaloosa
and they,
campus.
Send some very deserving students from Butler County to the capstone. I want to say this year it was around Memorial Day, or I think it was around the Special Olympics event, as a matter of fact, John, is why I couldn't play in it this year. But tell Big C to always keep us on the list because it is a ton of fun and they do a great job with that. So we really appreciate that. Brian Reynolds and his staff host the group at Cameron Ridge in Greenville. And John, we're going to make a plan to do that.
Yeah. I have a lot of friends who love sports. It's one of the reasons why they're my friends.
Yep.
Somebody actually just texted me and said, who is Big C? What?
Yeah.
Who is Big C?
Oh,
honest to gosh, you could have, George Clooney walk into a room, Rosie O'Donnell walk into a room, and Big C walk into a room, and everybody be like, hey, Big C. Now, I don't know that he'd walk into a room with George Clooney or Rosie O'Donnell, unless he's, gonna give a wedgie to George Clooney or something that. But who doesn't know?
How about our man Steve on the chat line, Barry?
That's not fair. Steve from down in Lilly, he said, Big C's golf tournament, is that miniature golf? Now, that's the thing. If you don't know Big C, and I can't imagine.
Everybody knows Big C.
Big C is former Alabama football team manager way back in the Bryant days.
Yes.
He is, I don't know, maybe 4 feet tall, 4'1". Maybe 4'5" or something. Yeah. He's not very tall. Great human being.
Oh,
wonderful guy. Known him for forever. Even though one time we did have to put him on caller probation. One other time he called us from his bathtub. You could hear the water splashing, and John says, "Big C, are you in the tub?" He said, "Yeah, big man."
Yeah. I think his main claim to fame one time too, I believe.
I'd forget. Yeah, that is true too. His main claim to fame in my book was that he was at, I want to say it was the 1993 Iron Bowl.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he was the one walking around, again, 4 feet something, walking around outside, thousands of people, and he had on a crimson T-shirt that said, "I am not Terry Bowden."
What a guy! Who would not want to hang around with a guy like Big C? I've told Big C forever. If he ever ran for political office, he's in. I mean, the name recognition, everybody knows Big C.
Yeah.
I mean, A.J. McCarron running for lieutenant governor, Big C ought to be running. You kidding me?
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, be looking for me in Lillian this weekend.
Yes.
Yeah. But I'll maybe be at the front porch for happy hour. All right. Our man, Brian Reynolds. He is the director of golf at Cambrian Ridge on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail. He certainly knows who Big C is.
Heck yeah.
We're talking about the Big C golf tournament, Brian. People are already getting ready for it in next May of 2026.
Hey, I tell you what, John, we can – the tournament's going to happen, but I think you and I and one more Big C, we could probably wheel the field. I'll take him.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Great short game.
We could put a team together, but I tell you, man, it's an awesome day out here. That event we do have, it's such a great day for him to get to see old friends. People get to see him. He's a trooper. For him to do what he does at his age with the limitations he's got. I mean, it is unbelievable what he accomplishes on a day-to-day basis. I go by usually at least 2 Sundays a month and get him up, get him ready, and get him to church with us.
Yep.
He's just a great guy. I mean, I don't know how anybody can say anything bad about him.
No.
Yeah. I don't know anybody that ever has.
No.
Great American.
I don't know about political office for him. That would be I tell you what, if it was state office or federal office, he's got some great beliefs. He could probably run a country. I give him that.
Yeah, he could probably run a country. Yeah,
I think we know how it would be run with him. That's for sure.
Back in the day, he would let his opinion be known about Hillary Clinton on this show.
Ooh, boy, yeah. Anyway,
his opinion about anybody.
Yeah, you don't ever have to worry about where Big C stands on something. Hey, I think right now, here it is, and I'm not even talking about the playability of the wonderful courses at Cambrian Ridge, Brian, but I bet right about now, leaves beginning to turn. Golf aside, I bet it is beautiful out there right now.
Oh, it's awesome. The golf courses are in great shape. We've got the overseed down. It's starting to pop, so the Loblolly and the Shirling are overseeded. They're looking great. We leave the Canyon out this year. We're going to do a little spraying. We only oversee 2 of the 3 9s every year just for weed control. But they're in awesome shape. They really are. They went in awesome to this cooler weather. The greens are tight. They're fast. It's in great shape as always. Our maintenance staff does an unbelievable job of the product they give the golfers, especially for the rate that we charge the golfers. The product you get for the rate we charge is it's almost as unbelievable as Big C. I mean, come down here with that trail card and play this golf course for $48.95. I mean, it's highway robbery.
Yep. I'm with you, Brian. It is an incredible value. And the topography there at Cambrian Ridge, we've talked about it before, just absolutely beautiful. You won't believe your eyes. It is a great experience all around, great golf. And, of course, in your clubhouse with your merchandise and your equipment and your apparel. And you mentioned that trail card, Brian. People need to go ahead and take advantage of it because you can use the 26 trail card right now, save some money. And, of course, it also makes for great Christmas gifts for the golfer on your list.
That's right. The 26 trail cards are on sale now. So that means you're going to get about 14 months with it. It's $5 off through the end of December. After January 1st, it'll go to $49.95. It's $44.95 right now. But, yeah, great gifts. If you can't make it to one of our golf shops to pick them up for Christmas gifts, just go to our website, rtjgolf.com. You can purchase one. It'll get mailed to you. You'll have it in hand to stick in that stocking or whatever you want. Heck, make a great Thanksgiving gift for someone as well.
Awesome. Man, Brian, thank you so much. Great things going on at Greenville's Cambrian Ridge on the RTJ Trail. And we encourage all of our viewers and listeners to get down there and take advantage of it. For tee times and more information, what's that phone number, Brian?
334-382-9787 or rtjgolf.com.
Outstanding, Brian. Appreciate you. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, man. It is a beautiful complex, Barry. We've been down there many a time.
Gosh,
and so many people that go are amazed at the quality of golf. And, of course, just the beauty of the property that it sits on. It's one of the prettiest locations on the entire RTJ Trail. So take advantage of that and get that trail card. I mean, save you some cash. I mean, $48. I mean, you kidding me?
And here's a smart move. John brings that up. You know, a lot of people, I'm not one of them, a lot of people right now getting their Christmas shopping started.
Yeah.
For that golfer on your Christmas list, there is no better stocking stuffer than an RTJ Golf Trail card. None. Great value, fits right in there.
Yes.
They'll put a pretty envelope around it and everything. I'm telling you what, he or she, they get that trail card in their stocking, guaranteed that's going to bring a smile.
Barry, I like Christmas gifts when it has the tag of the gift that keeps on giving. And that's a perfect example because it keeps on giving throughout the year, whether it's rounds of golf, discounts on merchandise, range balls, things of that nature. It's just got so many parts of that trail card that you can utilize and save some money. Okay. All right. So we got tonight's college football game squared away. I've basically the pro game too. The Jets are terrible. Not looking forward to that as much. Right. Basketball tonight. We're going to be busy tonight. I mean, I might sneak a peek at that NFL game. Got Troy. So, Barry, I can go dual box.
You can go
basketball and Troy going on at the same time.
You've got Troy and Old Dominion at 6:30 on ESPN.
Yeah.
You got Purdue and Alabama in men's basketball. Purdue, the number 2 team in the country, in Tuscaloosa. That's at 6. So you can start with that. Then you can add Troy and Old Dominion on your dual box.
Sure.
That game is at ESPN 2 from Coleman Coliseum in Tuscaloosa. I don't think you can put the Amazon Prime game in the box. I may be wrong. I don't have the quad box.
Can you? No, because you got to be on YouTube. You got to be able to.
And you don't get Amazon Prime. Okay, there you go.
All right, so quick, I want to clarify this from our man Jason down in Troy at 836.
Yeah.
I felt like I needed to tiptoe around that. Yeah, I'd heard that as well, but I'm reading it somewhere else. And when I'm asking the voice of the Trojans this question, I want to make sure I'm not asking something I shouldn't.
Right.
It's kind of
here's the deal. This is
that
the morning that John spent at pre-law in his freshman year in that pre-law class before he he edged out of that classroom quicker than he does at SEC media days in the interview room when here comes a Mississippi State offensive tackle.
That's right.
What he gained out of that more than anything else is never ask somebody on the stand during examination or cross a question that you don't already know the answer to.
Correct. Exactly.
John knew that 2 quarterbacks were going to play. He just wanted it on the record.
Sure.
So to speak.
And I'll admit, I didn't want to, how do I say it? I wanted to gingerly present that question, knowing what the answer was, but in the role that you play, I didn't want to ask you a question that might not. Yeah. I thought so. I was actually thinking about Barry in that situation, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes,
other people I would have said, look, what's the deal with these 2 quarterbacks playing? I mean, you kidding me? Come on, what's going on? He's the delivery and the presentation.
He's asked some pretty pointed questions to people like Jesse Jackson and got hung up on. So he wanted to make sure, that this was cool and everything.
It's kind of like Paul on too. Hey, you running for Senate?
You got no in your pocket, put it on the record. Well, coming up, it's the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel. I'm in Norfolk, Virginia for Troy football tonight at Old Dominion. John is in his home studio. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Dixie Electric Plumbing and Air is excited to participate in our annual Catch Me in Pink campaign, raising money for cutting-edge breast cancer research. We partnered locally with the Joy to Life Foundation and Vera Bradley to help raise significant funds in support of the cause. Each week, we are giving away prizes locally in addition to our national grand prize, a tropical trip for 2. To enter, simply snap an Ussie of you and a pink-clad Dixie employee and enter it on our website. Dixie will donate money for every photo that's submitted, and you will be entered to win big.
On the basketball court, the soccer pitch, or even the golf course, your crew brings their best not just for the win, but for that post-game celebration. When victory tastes like Michelob Ultra, it's worth every drop of sweat. And if you don't win, you'll still get the beer. It's just on you. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. Superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The drive into fall event is bigger and better at Stivers. Over 150 new Rams in stock, up to 21 grand off or 0% for 6 years. And heavy-duty Rams, 13 grand off.
Stivers, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where Price sells new cars and trucks in Prattville.
The drive into fall event is bigger and better at Stivers. Gladiators, 11 grand off. Wranglers, 12 grand off. Even 3-row Grand Cherokees, 13 grand off or 0% for 5 years.
Stivers, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where Price sells new cars and trucks in Prattville.
Okay, back at it, about 11 minutes to the top of the hour. Don't forget, tomorrow, I will be at Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Prattville. Bear will be coming in on 2 wheels from Old Dominion.
I hope to be back in time, yes.
Yeah.
I hope I'll be back in time. I'm pretty sure I will. I'll have maybe an hour's worth of sleep getting back in. You know, flying back into the Montgomery Regional Airport is going to be key in this one because we can get out quick. John says all the time, you know, coming out, leaving, departing from the MGM is outstanding, but the real value is when you're coming back. So, we'll zip through there on the way home. I'll get back.
Oh, yeah.
And, little bit of sleep, and then I'll be doing the show from my home studio tomorrow when John is in Prattville.
There you have it. All
there you
right,
go.
Great stuff. We'll do that. Of course, Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, Ralph Michaels from the Wager Talk and the Gold Sheet, and the the Phantom. Did you hear how the Phantom did? Well, we'll get into that tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll do that.
Okay. Dennis with coaching and minor league baseball. Just want to make sure I'm haven't overlooked anything on our River Region Straw chat line. I think we got everything covered. Yep. Okay. We're missing anything? I don't think so.
I think we're good. Here we go.
6 topics. Ladies and gentlemen, Barry and I do not know what these topics are. We're seeing them for the first time just like you are. That's what makes it kind of fun.
Yes.
All right.
Let's hit it. All brought to you by Victoryland 777 Casino, exit 22 off I-85 in Shorter, Alabama, where you can be a winner too. This is a Gronk topic. Rob Gronkowski, who former Patriots, former Bucs tight end, he's on every commercial in the history of the world. He's on NFL on Fox. He went back to New England yesterday, signed a 1-day contract to officially retire as a New England Patriot.
Okay. Does he have to go through any workouts or any drills? What's he do for that 1 day?
I don't know. I guess it's a big deal for them somehow. I mean, in the ultimate great grand scheme of things, it doesn't mean diddly squat, So, but I want to retire as a Patriot. Well, he's been out of the league for 3 years. I don't get the newsworthiness of it. I mean, anybody who thinks of him as a Patriot. He followed Brady to Tampa Bay, won a Super Bowl with him at Tampa Bay. In my mind, the best tight end in the history of the National Football League.
He's a good one. I'm with you there. And he's
terrific
a good
blocker, great hands. Yeah.
For just about everything that you can get. He is heck of
he's
a spokesman.
doing USAA, and he never was in the military.
No.
Why get a guy who never ever put on a military uniform be the spokesman? I don't know, but he makes it work.
He sure does.
There you go.
Right.
Yes.
He's getting there like Shaq and Chuck in terms of being a spokesman. Archie Manning, Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning.
These guys are all over the place.
Exactly right.
I do like Eli on the Jersey Mike's commercials. Those are pretty good.
I like him in the when he's nerding it up on the Hawaiian King bread commercial. He says, "Ready, break," and they're all looking at him. He says, "That means come on."
Yeah.
Great commercial.
That is a good one. Okay.
Yeah.
We got 5 more topics to go. Victoryland 777 topic wheel. Let's spin away. Victoryland open 24/7, 365, where you can be a winner too. Ooh,
it's this little cursor on there. Looks like a bug. Bad birthday. Who had a bad birthday?
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, Paolo Banchero. Oh, he strains his groin on his groin. All right, guys, raise your hand if you've ever strained your groin on your birthday.
Yeah.
Anybody ever have a birthday groin strain for any reason whatsoever?
Man.
Left groin. John and I have. Can we write this down to ask Robert next Wednesday? Left groin, right groin. I thought a groin was a groin.
I did too. Yeah.
Anyway, on his birthday, strains his groin. 23-year-olds with groin strains. Man,
nice.
I get catching my back if I sleep wrong.
Yeah,
but Banchero, good player.
Just thinking about it.
Yeah. Everything kind of radiates outward in a groin strain. It's not like that you break your pinky or something like that. That's just basically isolated to there. But man, the groin, it's hard to live with a strained groin.
That it is. I'm with you there. Been there,
Yes.
done that. Okay. Let's spin away. 4 to go.
Tears in
Blue,
my
red,
eyes.
green, and yellow.
All right.
Victoryland 777 topic wheel. It is spinning away.
Let's go green. Let's go green.
Loves the wheel.
Yes.
Wow.
Considering,
Will you
yes.
go to the prom with me? I'll consider
I'm considering it.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, what is this? This is SI.com. Lane Kiffin reported considering leaving Ole Miss for a high-profile job. Despite that being a disrespectful headline to Ole Miss fans, he's leaving Ole Miss for a high-profile job.
Yep.
Several SEC jobs, drawn some NFL. The NFL thing is
I found that
intriguing.
interesting too.
Yeah, maybe the Giants. I'm hearing that they just got rid of former Alabama offensive coordinator Brian Dable.
How about the Dolphins? I've heard the Dolphins.
The Dolphins, yeah. The thing that what intrigues me is Kiffin to Florida. And I've got a few contacts in Florida, and I'm not calling that Kiffin goes to Florida, but I know there is one heck of a lot of interest in Gainesville for Lane Kiffin. Like more interest for Lane Kiffin than anybody else.
I certainly can see it. To me, Florida seems to be a better fit for Kiffin than LSU would be. Auburn certainly not in the mix for Kiffin at this point. So I could see him in Gainesville.
Right now, my percentages, I say more than 50% chance that he stays at Ole Miss. But if he goes, I think he ends up at Florida. Then the second biggest thing would be somewhere in the NFL. Like John said, the Dolphins would be a good fit, although they don't have an opening. And the Giants would be a good fit, and they do have an opening right now. Good stuff.
Would he have to wear capri pants if he goes to Miami?
Nobody, no man should have to wear capri pants.
Yeah, I don't get that.
That's either. Unless you're Sally Field in the Gidget movies, don't wear capri pants. Don't do that.
Gidget. Was she the flying nun? Who was
she? Was
yeah,
she was
flying nun? Yeah,
Sister Couture. Yeah.
Okay, let's.
Alejandro Ray was in that one.
Yes, that's right. He certainly was.
All right.
Let's spin away. 3 more to go. Victoryland 777 topic wheel, where you can be a winner too, and it's going to land on the yellow.
Historic barrage.
Okay. All right. Historic barrage.
Okay.
New York Post. Oh, the Knicks. How about that?
Hey, if you have a 3-point barrage, shouldn't that be a barrage à trois? I don't know. 55 3-pointers. Knicks beat the Grizzlies 133-120. They made 22 of 55 3-pointers. John, this is why I do not watch the NBA very much anymore. And I love Steph Curry. Love him, but he has altered the NBA for the worse. And, nobody shoots a layup anymore. Nobody shoots a mid-range jumper anymore. Everything is either a dunk, and those are becoming rarer, or a 3-point shot. Even on fast breaks, you're going down court, you have an open layup. What do? Nope, you turn and you throw it with both hands out to a 3. If I wanted to watch just nothing but 3-point shooting, I'd watch John and Church League ball.
Yeah, I guess that's why I like the NBA, because they shoot so many threes. I love the long ball.
Yeah.
Love the long ball.
It's not real basketball. 55 3-point shots in one game.
Love it.
55. They only play 48 minutes. That's my 3-pointer more than every.
I mean, jack them up from the third row. Yeah. Who's the Harden guy that played for Philadelphia?
James Harden.
James Harden.
The beard. Yeah.
I saw him play the Pelicans one night. This guy's jacking them up from everywhere, and they're going in. I mean, he's not got a foot right on the line. I mean, this guy's in the third row making them.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, who cover this guy? I mean, what's going on here? It was
not
awesome.
a fan. Let's go back.
All right. Spin away. 2 more to go. Let's see. Closing in, and I forgot what the other one was. I couldn't see.
That little black cursor throws me. It looks like a bug on the screen. See right there?
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
I keep trying to wipe it off my screen. Closing in.
Closing in. Huh.
All right.
Auburn. Oh, and more NBA. Here we go. I don't like that floor. Look at those colors. Ew.
Oh, that's awful. That's San Antonio. Yeah. This is it.
Oh,
Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs has been all that.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys kind of like Jalen Hurts, who was kind of undersung in college. He transferred to Alabama from Georgia Tech. He was terrific at Alabama. People still, they think, Alabama running backs begin and end with Mark Ingram and Derrick Henry. They've had a jillion of them. Jahmyr Gibbs had maybe the second best year I've ever seen for an Alabama running back. That year he was there. Nobody gives him a lot of credit. John, he is tearing it up in the NFL.
He is tearing it up, Barry. I mean, he's having a great NFL career. It really is. To think he was only in Tuscaloosa for a year.
Yeah, Randy Moss, Jim Brown, Emmitt Smith, they all scored 43 touchdowns before the age of 24. With a touchdown coming up in their Sunday night matchup against Philly, he will tie Jim Brown for the fourth most touchdowns scored before the age of 24. His 41 touchdowns are the most of any player in the NFL since 2023. Why is nobody talking about him in the NFL like they're talking about some of the other really, really great players? And he is a
Barry,
great
when we
player.
talk about former Alabama running backs compared to the group they've got up there now, we seem to forget about Jahmyr Gibbs. He was there a short period of time, but he was really impressive.
Truth, no doubt.
All right, one more to go before we wrap things up here. Got to spin it to make it official here on the Victoryland 777 topic wheel, and it's going to be regroup. Regroup is the topic here. What do we got? Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we go. This is the one. The Warriors regroup. Steph Curry, love him, hate what he's done for the game. 46. They win on an extremely ugly court in San Antonio. The Warriors, it's been up and down. They got absolutely blistered at Oklahoma City. And, I like the headline. The Warriors turned to their most reliable slump buster 24 hours later. Mark Grace was there?
Love it. Gracie.
Did somebody jump on a grenade, for the fellows? You get
Take
the gnarliest
guys,
chick, the ugliest chick. Did they have that kind of a slump buster?
Oh, man. What an episode. That's one of the tops of all time.
No question.
The slump buster episode.
Mark Grace.
Okay. So, want to thank all of our guests today. Jason Caldwell, Rodney Orr, Brian Reynolds joining us today on the program. Of course, big game tonight for the Trojans. Barry is there. We'll bring you all the action on the Troy Network later today.
6:30 kickoff. We'll be on the air on the radio beginning at 4:30. Check TroyTrojans.com for all the information and all that. Should be fun. And then tomorrow morning, John, I'll be woozy. I'll be groggy, but I'll be on the air from my home studio. John will be at Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram live in Prattville on Friday morning.
Looking forward to that. All right, everybody, have a great day. Thank you so much for viewing, watching, listening. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button.
He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.